Alright, so I am going to be cleaning my dad's old school Quantum EX500. He doesn't know I'm doing this, but so I'm just going to surprise him with it. These reels are super old. You can tell just by looking at that how dirty that is right there. It's super dirty. He's always has trouble with these since he hasn't used them in a while. With them casting, and they're just not smooth anymore. You can't hardly cast anything with it. So let's see if I can figure out how to take this thing all apart. There's the third one there. There it is. You can tell those brakes look horrible. Magnetic brake system here. And I'm not going real in depth with this, but I'm just going to clean the bearings and try and get it much smoother than it already is. But yeah, you can tell just by looking inside that is super dirty. Everything is filthy on this reel, and it's not horrible, but it could definitely be improved. So I think I might go ahead and take the handle off. Let's see if there we go. Pull that there. You can really use anything to take these off. I think it's a 10 millimeters what the universal size for most of these are, but this is an old reel, so I'm really not sure what size they're using, but I'm just going to use this. Get that loosened up and move in there. Okay, so I'm going to set those off to the side like that. That just lifts off. And okay, make sure you keep track of all that stuff. I'm going to take the star drag off here. There's that. Okay. So there's those. Okay, so you can really see how dirty and used that thing is. Well used, but so I'm just going to start by taking a Q-tip and just running a Q-tip around that. Just that one little spot, all that crap came out of that. Go ahead and take the tension knob off here. And I'm using WD-40. I know it's not ideal, but it's what I've got. And it works, but I've had problems with it attracting dirt, so it's just a temporary cleaning just to get these things, bring them back to life. Spray some around that. Had a bearing fall out there. You gotta be careful with these small pieces too. It's nice to have something that these bearings will slide over, that you can make sure that you're spinning right, but I don't really have anything right now, so I'm just going to put that back in there. Cover that right there back up, so I don't lose that thing again. Okay. Now let's get to the inside here. I'm just going to spray some of this WD-40 up in there. Okay. I'll run one of these Q-tips up in there. That water, that WD-40 that's falling out of there is just disgusting. This reel probably hasn't been cleaned in 10, 15 years. So even just this little bit of maintenance cleaning, not even breakdown. I'm honestly a little scared to break this thing down because it's so old. I don't know all the parts to it. It's you can't really find these anymore. Now, these reels are pretty sentimental to my dad because they're his old tournament fishing reels. So that's part of why I'm doing this. And so yeah, on newer reels there's a bearing that you can see right inside the spool right here, and on this older reel on the spool you can't even see it. I don't know if there should be a bearing in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and run some of that on there. I don't know how dirty that is around that. It's not really too bad because it's actually inside the reel, but this is the part that this side cover here, there is a bearing in there, I know for a fact because I can see it, but it's spinning pretty good. One thing I'm going to do before I put it all back together, I'm just going to put a drip. This is just some cheap stuff that I bought. Some cheap real oil. I'm just going to put one little drop right, oh I missed, right there, boom. Okay. Now let's get this spool put back on. A little rough in there. Okay, so need to clean it just a little bit more, especially inside that right there. That's where all that gunk was. You hear all that crap in there. It's starting to come out a little bit cleaner now. All around the edges. Okay. Tighten all these back down. And as you can tell just by looking at this reel, it is just old and worn out. It's definitely seen its better days, but it's still, I mean, it's still running. It's not as good as it should be. So I'm gonna put all this stuff back on, wipe it down before we put it back on there. Give it one last shot of WD-40 there. Put these washers back over drag back on. Next step is put this guy back. Clean that drag off real quick. Clean up the threads some. Backwards. No? So the last thing I'm gonna do after once I got the reel, I'll put back together right here. Controversial what people put in there. Some people say grease, some people say oil. I'm gonna put oil in this. I like the oil better. Get this tightened up. And that is a very slow reel. This reel is a 6.2, so I'm guessing that's like a 620. Look at that right there. It's much smoother now. Tighten that drag back down. Very slow reel. But back whenever these reels were the top dog, they were probably the fastest reel being made. So, still sounds a little rough, but is cleaned, lubricated, and pretty much ready to go.